greatest in the land. Somebody always can.
Well, hot diggity dang. It's episode 59 of What's Up Flobo After Hours. It's Monday night. I'm here in the treehouse having a time of my life. And I want to thank you so much for coming with me, rocking with me on that Facebook, that YouTube, that Twitter, and that Twitch. That's what you want to talk about, man. That's what you want to know, the connect. That's what you want to say, what's up? It's on those platforms. People in the chat right now, Haywood Wong, Kirsten's doing it. Everyone's falling in. Everyone's making themselves known. Thank you so much for being with me today. My voice is shot. I was in Vegas all weekend, and I'll get to that in just a second. Just want to say, hey, Kirsten, how's it going? Just want to say, this episode of What's Up Flobo After Hours, and all the other episodes of What's Up Flobo After Hours is brought to you in part by the members of the Boisterous crew. These are people that are on the Patreon, patreon.com/FloboBoyce. That's to support the show and all the other things that I'm working on. So as always, I got to give myself a little bit of a shout out to Christy C, Christy H, ACH, Edric P, Oliver E, Princess Leia, Matthew C, Lindsay U, John W, Richard R. You guys make this show a reality. Now, I want to let you guys know, full disclosure, my guest tonight, JP Brown, is running late because you know it's late. But in the meantime, I have a lot of things on my mind I want to share with you guys. What up, JLJ Media? What up, Chris and Marie? Like I was saying, my voice is shot because I was in Vegas all week. It was SummerSlam weekend. I blew out my voice so many times, not only at the show, but because I was trying to talk to people over the mask all weekend. So you see, one of the coolest events, we'll talk about this in a minute, I got to be able to DJ an event for Demandies, which is the tag team or the former tag team of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. I got to do that at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. So I was stressed out about doing that. So I didn't even sleep the night before. And so I'm playing these dope tunes so early in the morning, and everyone's like, hey, Flobo. I'm like, all right, what I want to say is, so I was like straining my voice the entire time to make that happen. And I want to tell you one thing about professional wrestlers. You know, you watch people on TV, celebrities on TV, you're kind of like, they're pretty solid, you know, but seeing them in real life is a whole other thing. They're like magic. There's an aura about them. JP Brown will be here in a quick second. Just want to say, to answer your question, it was amazing being able to DJ that event. And Sonya and Mandy both had donuts of their own. I tried them both. Sonya's is solid but earthy because it's chocolate, it's peanut butter, and all that jazz. Mandy's, I think, was overall better, but she had a worse aftertaste. So if I'm thinking like, hey, if I ate the Mandy one, I'd be kind of crazy. What up, Mike Wexler, the former Sock Monkey Mike? When am I going to be on your show, bro? Put me on your show. But enough about me rambling. Please welcome my guest on this edition of What's Up Flobo After Hours, JP Brown. How's it going, sir?
Salutations, my dude. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Decided to show up 5 minutes late. That's some Hollywood shit, bro.
sorry for being tired.
What are you doing?
I was at a mic, and then I had to like dash back here real quick, and then I was like,
you were working?
Yeah, just working on some bits. That's about it. And then I was like, no, I didn't feed my cat, and so I had to take care of this guy.
Wait, hold on. How was the show though? How was the show? Was it good?
I mean, it's a mic. Right. I mean, that's basically it. It's a mic. And usually it's like when I go to these open mics and stuff, I just consider them to be nothing more than just dress rehearsals. I'm not going there to try to, make the audience laugh, because there is no audience. It's just other comics, other open micers who are just not paying attention, just working on their own stuff or whatever. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to work out the kinks. Or if anything, if it's one of those really quiet rooms where nobody's paying attention to anything, I just go and just riff. Just shoot from the hip and just, that's about it. Work on that instead.
So how's that been? I mean, I know with virtual shows and real shows, what's been like your process coming back out of the pandemic, how you're approaching the material and all that?
Just as much as I can, just taking it day by day. Really, that's all I can do. Like, I mean, it's just so like the pandemic just can I swear? Can I cuss? I can't cuss, can I? No, I can't.
Again, it's after hours. You can drink, you can cuss, you do whatever you want.
Oh, fucking right. Where's my bong?
Yeah,
Sweet.
hit that shit. We'll talk about that shit in a minute. It's all good.
No, I can honestly say that like the pandemic pretty much fucked things up for a lot for me, especially as a comic. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff lined up for like casino shows and like fully paid, fully accommodated shows like at Pachanga and all these other different casinos. Like I just started really hitting the road a lot last year. At the beginning of the year, I was, performing like nights in Arizona, in Nevada, casinos over there and stuff.
So
like 35 minutes. I was opening for John Huck, who's really, really great comic and stuff. I was doing like 35-minute sets. And so I was, really starting to hit my stride and stuff. And then boom, pandemic hit and it all just went to shit. And then it was like, what do we do now? Right. So there was a lot of, Zoom shows and I did them. Yeah, as much as I could because, I still got to work on the material, still got to have stuff to write about. And we definitely had a lot to write about, but it's just not the same. It's not the same as a live audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
Yeah, like sometimes you can hear the people laugh, but then other times you don't hear them laugh, or you hear their dog knocking shit over in the back, or you hear one of them just came out of the bathroom and you're don't go in there for a while, and it's like I don't need to hear that during my set, guys.
Right.
But it is what it is, really.
So people always say that, like, and I agree. I think that Zoom shows are a little different. They're not as good. I've done a couple myself, but like, try to describe what a Zoom comedy show is to someone who has never done stand up before. Like, can you like break it down?
It's basically just a conference call with a lot of people listening to one person and not reacting. That's about it.
You're right.
I mean, it's really just how can I put it? It's a lot of okay. The host goes up, does their thing, makes sure that all the audience members are, up live and stuff. And some of them have their cameras on or their cell phone picture on or their whatever. And then they're watching the show and some of them are reacting and stuff. Others, you can literally see them in their living room with their feet up, just putting, just you're right.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I got a show.
Yeah. Some of them don't have their cameras on. So all you see is like a picture of like, I don't know, their cat or their kid or like a car for some reason. Yeah. And then you just sit there and wait until your time to go on. Usually I'll turn my camera off just so I can turn my camera off and my mic off. Just like that, just like I accidentally did.
Right.
And just work on my own stuff. Just like, okay, let me figure out what I want to do in my head. Let me take a hit off this weed, whatever. Right. And then when it's time to go up, I turn my camera on, turn my mic on, and I just do my thing. And, that's about it. And then afterwards, just stick around.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that, but we got questions coming out here. This is from Hayward Long. He asks, Jay, what is a stoner bionic ape?
You mean a fit stoner? A fit stoner is basically, because I know what he's referring to. He's referring to my Instagram page where I say I'm a funny ninja, fit stoner, a bionic ape. Bionic ape was just something I came up with when I was stoned. I was just like, hey, what would be awesome? An ape that's bionic and has like cyborg arms and stuff. And like, whoa, that'd be awesome. Yeah. As for the fit stoner part, that's honestly just one of the things that's part of me. I do smoke a lot of cannabis, and I refuse to call it weed or anything else. I'm not going to call it marijuana ever, because that's the name that was given to it in a smear campaign to associate it with. Yeah, exactly. With Mexicans, with the evil, lazy colored people. That's basically what it was associated with. So it's a wrong name. I'm going to call it what it is. It's cannabis. But yeah, I smoke a lot of cannabis and I'm athletic. I work out a lot. I've done martial arts for many years. I do parkour as well. So I do believe.
Hold on. You do parkour?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Why are you trying to be Batman, like American Ninja Warrior? This is for fun?
Something like that.
Okay, parkour had his heyday in the 90s where everyone was like really big, with everyone was doing it around my neighborhood.
Wait, it was in the 90s?
I think so. Yeah, when I was a kid. Oh, sorry, I'm old. I'm in my mid 30s.
I only found out in like the early 2000s, or like around 2007 was when I heard about it. I was like, what? You know?
Well, there was the other philosophy. There was like free running and parkour here around the same time. And
Right.
Free running had started first, but parkour became like a bigger thing, and now they argue and stuff.
Parkour is the actual name for it. You know, from its actual, it was founded by Sebastien Foucault and David Bell as well. They were like the pioneers of it. Free running is parkour with flips added into it. I don't do free running. I'm not into the flips and stuff, just because it's a lot of high risk for low reward in my eyes. It's fancy, it's flashy, great, but I don't really consider it that functional. It looks fantastic, but if it's like, you know, if I'm chasing somebody or I'm being chased, I'm not going to be like, hang on a second, let me just nail this double B twist front flip gainer. Like, no, I got to get out of there as quick as I can. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe they were just so astonished, like an anime, you know. Oh,
so, yeah, exactly. Oh, sugoyone, you know.
It's amazing. We got some questions from the chat before I ask you more about parkour, because I'm just completely like astounded about this. JLJ Media asks, is there any topic off limits for you in comedy?
For me personally,
yeah.
Well, okay. I do truly believe. I mean, yes. Oh boy, that's a tough one. For me, there's some topics that are really, really heavy that I'm like, okay, like say for example, like, okay, rape, for example.
Okay.
I do believe, yes, it is true that in comedy everything is fair game and stuff, and you can go at it. But if you're gonna talk about something like that, you better make damn sure that it's very, 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 very funny and done very intelligently. Otherwise, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to work with, because it's such a heavy topic that, you know. I mean, for example, like I did a bit about how I had to sit in a hospital room and watch my mother die of cancer. Right. And basically the whole idea of the bit was how when people, friends or family, are trying to console you, or trying to, you know, give their condolences and stuff, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about most of the time. You know, like they don't know what to say. They could easily just stick with saying, I don't know how you're feeling right now. It sucks. I'm sorry. Simple as that. Right. But some of them go off into these long-winded rants and stuff. And then, like, one of my friends was like saying, oh, you know, death is part of life. We live our life and then we die. It's part of life. And my whole joke was, no, it's not. It's death. Like, not living anymore is not part of life. That's like saying that death is part of life is like saying that rape is part of love. It's not. You know what I mean?
Right,
and then I give an example of, like, let's say I'm stuck in a jail cell with some 300-pound bearded potato eater named Molly. Right. And it's like, with my 150-pound frame, like, you know, I'm getting raped. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to be pinned down. It's going to be like, calm down, taste the cakes. It's all part of love. Like, that's, you know, that was a joke. Right. Damn. But I'll be honest, I haven't done that joke in a while, because, like I said, it's one of those touchy subjects where maybe I'll revamp it and bring it back, but I don't know. So there is no real topic that I don't really talk about, but I have to tread carefully. I have to like really plan it out and really just write it out really, really intelligently in order to make it, you know, hit hard. That's really I hope that answered the question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
Maybe.
I mean, for me, it's a matter of time. Like, I feel like there's something that you can make a joke about anything as long as you have time.
Yes.
You look at Chappelle, and I mean, I forget which one. He like 7 specials like 1 year, right? You were talking about Emmett Till. That dude went on a
Yes.
20-minute like tangent that wasn't really funny and brought it back to a joke. But when you're in
Yes.
LA and you're getting booked 5 minutes at a time, there's no way to be like, so anyway, what's
Yes,
the deal
exactly.
with 15 cages? It just doesn't work that way. So
Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, I have I have a huge bit about police brutality, racial injustice and stuff, racism in the US, systemic racism. I have a huge bit about that especially because it reached such a boiling point last year.
yeah.
I mean, it's not like we just found out about it last year. I mean, this shit's always been going on, right, for years and years and years and years and years. And I brought that up in my bit as well. I was like, it's like, like we all knew that systemic racism was very prevalent. Some of us knew that systemic racism was Black folks knew. We knew. Like, it's like we've been saying it for years. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, it's not like this is anything new. We've been saying it. Y'all just ain't been listening. You know what I mean? And, right. So I brought that bit in and stuff, and it was a heavy topic, and, it made it work for sure. It was an uncomfortable truth. Right. Yeah. And sometimes those are where the comedy lies. And I thought to myself, you know what? At times I was like, oh, I don't know if I feel comfortable saying these jokes in front of these people, right? Because there was a time where I performed it in Lancaster, and exactly, right. And there were some people in the audience who looked like, like they were conservative, like white conservative. Like some of them actually looked like they were at the insurrection. I'm not gonna lie, right? But the funny thing is, as I was saying these bits, as I was saying the jokes and stuff, I saw some of them actually laughing and smiling and nodding and stuff. And actually, a few of them afterwards came up to me and they were like, "Hey, man, you made me laugh and you made me think." And I'm like, "Wow, that's a massive reward in itself. Just to hear that, like that's, it's crazy. It was mind blowing to hear that."
Absolutely. I mean, I never get that. It's just like you didn't make me laugh, you wasted my time. But when the opposite happens, it sounds great. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, it's kind of the whole night's here. Let me go shout out to Jack Farm in the chat, man. Hey, thanks for rolling by. I appreciate you.
What up, Jack? Good to see you, man.
I have a question for you as well. I guess it's more of a thing. Flo, let's see you, Rajon Morrison, and parkour. It looks like in the ring, and you guys. I mean, bro, that's a card right. SummerSlam was last weekend.
Wait, does Dolph Ziggler actually do parkour as well? I know.
He does comedy.
Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler. Yes, that's right. Dolph Ziggler does do comedy, and John Morrison. Yeah, he's got some good stuff, man, for sure. He's got that free running down pat, like his flips and shit. I'm like, okay, wow, this guy's legit.
Yeah, do you do sorry, back to parkour real quick. Do you do that for training, or is it kind of like a hobby? Is it like it's Saturday? Like,
I do it. I've mainly do it just as a hobby, just for fun. I've always loved, especially being into athletic training and competition pretty much all my life. I was always into fitness and stuff. And once I found out about parkour, I was like, wow, this is something that I belong to. That belongs to me. This is something I felt like it was made for me, because I loved being able to use my body, as an instrument around me. You know what I mean? And the fact that I can learn these things, how to run, how to jump, how to climb, how to crawl. It's interesting. It's because like I remember chatting with this one tracer, this one girl who was also training in parkour. I was chatting with her during an open gym session, and I asked her, I said, like, when did you start training in parkour? And she laughed and she said, "When did you stop?" And I was like, what I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, think about it. When we were kids, when we were in the playgrounds, in the jungle gyms and stuff, what were we doing? We were running, we were jumping, we were climbing, we were crawling. So in a sense, that was parkour. And yet somewhere along the lines, as we grew up, something that I don't believe in as well, we forgot how to do that stuff. We were told, get down from though. We were told grown-ups don't do that. We were told we forgot how to play, right? And parkour for me takes me back into that natural state of playing where I truly believe that we should all be, right? We should be able to know how to use our body, to move through our environments.
Sounds like some like Vigilantes fighting crime stuff. I'm just being honest with you.
Oh
Jack
yeah,
Palmer
that too.
says
I mean,
this.
when the fall of civilization happens and the zombies
Yeah,
come out, like, listen, if you guys can't climb the wall with me,
I'm sorry. I stopped. I grew up.
yeah, sorry, man, you guys are gonna slow me down. You know what I mean?
Is it possible to do it the safe way, or is every attempt at a new move just a risk you have to take?
It is absolutely possible to do it in a safe way. In fact, our motto in parkour is train safe. Train hard, but train safe. Like the disconnect is that a lot of people see like a lot of these YouTube videos where people are doing all these crazy stunts from these incredibly high,
Yeah,
like just like high buildings and stuff, and that's all great. But my whole thing is like if it's a height that I cannot safely absorb when I land or at least roll out of, I'm not going to do it. Like we're always taught to train safely. If we ever injure ourselves from doing, I mean, injuries do happen. Let's be real.
right.
They do happen. We get the bumps and the bruises and the sprains and stuff. I had a dislocated shoulder, from something that happened during training. I was,
Yikes.
yeah, but it was because I forced myself past the point of fatigue. I was already training all day that day and stuff. And I should have known that, okay, when your body says to rest, you got to listen to your body. It's just like working out. If you try to push yourself past the point of fatigue and exhaustion, that's when mistakes happen. That's when injuries occur, right? But when it comes to parkour, if we force ourselves to do something that we're not ready to do, that we did not train to do, that's on us. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to know our boundaries in parkour. That's what we're always taught.
Right. What makes you smile, man?
What makes me smile?
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
Like, I mean, I know parkour training is great, and hitting that landing is great, but like, what makes you go wee? A grown man, sexy wee.
shoot, where do I start?
Yeah, man.
There's so many good things about life. I mean, yeah, it has its ups and downs, but there's so many great things like being, with an awesome group of friends at Six Flags or something, going on, on the roller coasters while you're high. It's working out, having, seeing what my body's capable of doing, chilling out, playing some video games, watching a great movie, being with a beautiful lady, just seeing different things, exploring, parts in your city or your state or your country that you've never seen before, traveling the world, eating, like a dessert that you're trying for the first time, music, like just, like being in my car late at night, going for a late night drive, blasting, just playing some down tempo, chill out music and just cruising. There's so many different things. I don't know, because to me, it's just, I love a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
being on stage and, in front of an audience and just crushing it, nothing but not having one of those laughs that last at least like 13 seconds.
Right.
Ooh.
So laugh breaks are the holy grail. But every question I've asked other comics, it's actually first time on the show, but after a show, what is more exhilarating? Showing up and killing your entire set, or turning a crowd away from comedy back into your set? So what's better? Like, is going up there being on fire the entire time, or having a crowd of men be paying attention on their cell phones, booming the last guy and turning him around? Because there's like arguments for both.
Ooh, yeah, there are arguments for both, because I've been in those situations before, and I've been booed off stage before, and that shit sucks. It definitely does. But at the same time, I've also turned a crowd around, like from not listening to listening and just loving it. And I'm like, oh, you sure I can't choose both? They're both great feelings. They're
cop out answer, but you can.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have a crowd that's like lively and stuff, and they're laughing at every joke, and they love the show, and they talk to you afterwards and stuff, and they congratulate you and stuff. That's fantastic. But to be able to, for lack of a better term, resurrect an audience, right, and bring them and actually make them enjoy the show and stuff, that's a pretty goddamn good feeling for sure. I mean, I did another show in Lancaster as well that was at this bar that was formerly a biker gang bar, right? And the audience was just, they weren't paying attention to stuff. They were all over the place. It's like you'd see bikers over here, black peeps over here, cholos over here. It looked like Gen Pop. It was just, they were just scattered everywhere. And a lot of them looked like they were there to fight, right?
Yeah.
And the show didn't start until 2 hours later. Black show. The show didn't start 2 hours.
I mean, you gotta call us out like that, bro.
No, but it's like, can we just do one show that runs on time, please?
My show was late because JP Brown was late, brother.
I was setting up. It wasn't 2 hours. Yours wasn't 2 hours late, so that's good. You know what I mean? It was a couple of minutes. It was all right. But finally I get to go on and stuff. I'm like, okay, and nobody's really paying attention to stuff. So I'm like, okay, this is the bar show. This is a loud crowd, so I have to be louder.
Sure.
That's the rule. When you're doing a bar show and it's like just nobody listening, you got to grab their attention post haste.
Absolutely.
So I went up, just did my thing, got their attention, riffed with some of the people who were listening and stuff. And eventually, like, more people started to listen, more people started to get in and stuff, and they actually started to enjoy the show. And then I made like a few fans actually that day. They were like, "Oh my God, I want to follow you on Instagram and stuff." I was like, "Hell yeah, follow me and stuff." And it turned out really well. And
yeah,
that is a good feeling when you can turn the crowd around like that. That's pretty dope.
Well, one of the cool things about being a lifelong wrestling fan is that
I'm gonna take a hit.
Yeah, do your thing, baby. When I getting booed on stage doesn't bother me as much. Getting booed is like, okay, this is not working out for me. I'm gonna try to turn this around. I'm gonna still navigate. When you do a joke, you get that Zoom feedback. Nothing. You got and then I said, "Ah, damn." There is nothing. You're out in the ocean. Just on a boat alone. Jack says a similar question for you. Says, when you bomb on stage, how do you assess whether it was the material or whether it just wasn't your night or was a bad crowd?
We're always taught never to blame the crowd. We're always taught, it's not the crowd, it's you. No. That's sometimes it is a crowd. Sometimes it is a crowd. You just have to really, first thing, I record all my sets, right? I record every single one of my sets for sure. And then I listen to it afterwards, with a critical mind. Like I think to myself, okay, this joke worked. This joke was fine. This bit was kind of rocky. This joke didn't get much. Why didn't this work? Let's work on this a little bit more. This one I've been working on 3 times, still didn't work. Let's X that one. Let's cut that one completely. It's a difficult read. You just have to really look back at it and just, assess. Right? Yeah. Because sometimes it is the crowd. Sometimes it is you. Every single show is a crapshoot. Every single audience is a coin toss. Right? So you just have to go in there with that attitude, just thinking, you know what, I'm going to release all that and just go up and do my thing, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Because all of that stuff has weighed on my mind. Like, is it the audience? Is it me? Blah, blah, blah. Right? You just have to go and keep working. Just keep putting the work.
Yeah, for me, I ask how I feel afterwards, because there's some times where I would bomb, but I'm like, wait, I said it the way I had in my mind. Okay. And there's times where I can kill and be like, I missed that beat. I missed that beat. But like, and in some ways I treat myself like a sports coach and go, well, you have to give yourself 2, 3, 4, 5 shows doing it one way before you go, now I'm making the change, because you don't know. There's just too many variables, especially if you're like, my loudest show was a brewery. I was at Mission Brewery in San Diego, and when I'm saying brewery, I mean like forklifts and people dropping kegs, playing. So anyway, what's the deal with? It was terrible. I was like, that's definitely the bad night.
You're getting heckled by a bulldozer, just like, what is happening right now? You know what I mean?
I swear to you, I'm funny. Mutual friend here, Honorgret says, the Jesus of joke telling.
The Jesus of joke telling?
Can that be you, or is that me? Is that you or me? Honorgret, let us know.
I'm not high yet, so I don't know. Jesus of joke telling. That's interesting.
Let's talk cannabis real quick, man, because I got into it for research for my last comedy album.
Nice.
But yourself, you're saying you've been doing it for years. You're a lifelong fan. You're an advocate. Can I say that?
I'd say I guess I can say I'm an advocate for it. Yeah, I'd say so. I haven't. I mean, when I say I've been doing it for, I mean, I guess I have been doing it for years. I actually started in 2009 when I first moved down here to Los Angeles.
Okay. From
Because
where?
Toronto, Canada. Yeah, I lived up there pretty much most of my life, and I remember, and I was ignorant about it at the time. And I don't mean to anybody who doesn't smoke weed and stuff. I don't mean to sound condescending when I say that. I'm not trying to do that. It's just that up there, I was like, one of those people like, who's smoking marijuana? It's bad for you, and blah 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 blah. And then
Who's
when
that guy?
Yeah, right.
Come represent the Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You're fired. Oh God, fuck Vince McMahon. Anyway,
He's not listening to the show, bro. He doesn't know him a lot.
He's like, who's the son of a bitch? You know what I mean?
It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast, bro.
But no, when I moved down here, then I learned about it, watched documentaries and stuff. Even a former roommate of mine, she was like huge stoner, but she was smart as a whip, brilliant writer. She was a musician. She's a musician and stuff. And she gave me all these articles to read and even essays that she wrote herself, and complete with the full list of references where she got all her information. Sure. And I was just reading all this stuff and watching these and just learning, taking all of it in. And I was like, holy shit, all my life I've been lied to. What the fuck, And it's like, so once I got into it and I control it and stuff, I don't do it every day, of course not. Right. I don't believe that you should be high all the time. That's not good. Because you need time for your brain and your body to reset, to defrag. I narrow it down to like once, maybe twice a week, right? Especially because I like to keep that rookie feeling. You know what I mean? I like to keep the rookie lungs where it's like you don't need much to get you there. No, for real. Because like
rookie lungs is a dope concept.
Yeah. Because like, you know what I mean? Like here's my thing. Because if you do it all the time, if you do it like every day, your tolerance builds. Sure. And the more your tolerance builds, the more you have to smoke and ingest or take it, basically intake, to get you to where you want to go. And I'm sorry, but that shit costs money. Okay.
I mean, yeah. What advice is cheap, right?
Exactly. I'm not making, Bill Gates money and stuff. I'm not making that much. If I was, then I'd be like, oh, hey, yeah, just hook it to my veins. No, actually, you know what?
I can imagine Bill Gates just sitting in Washington, like with all his money, but like, I like rookie lungs too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like I enjoy them, Yeah. But yeah, I like to, take my time to just defrag and reset my body and stuff. But no, I love it.
Here's all the benefits.
Yeah.
There's a question I have for you though. So a lot of I'll say a lot. There's a section of comics that are comedians and they do partake. In fact, there's like 420 shows and all that.
Yeah.
What has been your experience in that culture? Do you worry about being pigeonholed as being a weed comic because you just happen to partake, by the way?
I don't mind it. I mean, I mean, with the weed comedy shows and stuff, I'm here for it. I see them and I'm like, hey man, if I can get booked on one of those, fantastic. Even better, right? Gay, sign me up. A lot of comics do smoke weed. Yeah, that is true. And I just go with it. I just go with the flow and just say, hey, this is happening, and that's fine.
Do you parkour high before?
You know what? I don't.
That sounds dangerous.
I do not. I don't mind working out high. I mean, some of my most intense, rigorous workouts I've ever had were when I was high, right? I actually feels great that way because I'm more in tune with my body. I feel every bit of the muscular contraction and extension, right? I'm focused on my range of motion and stuff, my form. Everything's like clicking in beautifully. Oh yeah. It's fantastic. And I'm present.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm more present when I'm in that zone. But I don't do parkour high. I won't. It's maybe if I'm doing like low impact stuff, like working on like certain rail flow or anything like that, that's fine with like low impact. But if it's like a little bit more difficult stuff, more intense, more high impact stuff, then I'm like, no. I need to be in the zone for this one. I need to be just more, not so much, I want to say not so much alert, but I need to be clean when I'm doing this stuff.
Oh, fair enough.
And even then, I don't even know why I use that word clean, because then it makes it sound like, weed is dirty. Like, no, I don't want to sound like that. But I haven't attempted it yet, and I don't think I will for certain types of parkour training. No.
So in the mid 2000s, I was I won't say avid. I used to do a lot of like mid distance runs, like 10Ks and half marathons, and
Nice.
you know, we at the end of it there'll be like a little like expo where you can like, you know, buy bananas or whatever, or get coupons. And it was a weird time because that was when Michelob was trying to be like the beer of runners, and chocolate milk wanted to be for the money. You know what I'm saying? People were saying if you take sativa after you run, the runner's high is a legit thing. It kind of helps you with your recovery and all that. And
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was also out of shape. I was like, I just want water. You know, I had no idea about the benefits of feeling your muscles and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Like one of my favorite things to do, like especially in the night times, I'll puff some indica, you know, because it's great for your body to relax your muscles and so on. Also for women, during that time of the month, it actually helps to alleviate cramps. So, you know, that's fantastic. So what I'll do, I'll smoke a little bit of indica, right? And then I'll get my foam roller, like my lacrosse ball and my foam rollers, and I'll just roll out all my muscles, like, you know, my quads, hamstrings, IT bands, the good old, what are these, the TFLs, roll them out as well, you know, and then just finish off with a static stretch. Oh yeah, it's the best thing to do.
It's funny because I used to be like, foam roller, ha! And then my leg got injured this summer, and I have like all the foam rollers. I have all different sizes.
Yes, right. Got the
crazy.
rumble roller, the PVC pipe. Those things are the business.
I also got one of these, you know, and I'm just sitting there.
Oh, right. Yeah. Those ones
right.
I can't really. I tried them, but then all of a sudden I started to notice that, oh my god, these things are bending now. It's like, you know what I mean? I find
Iron Man, damn.
Right? I'm like, this
not
isn't
working.
really. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't really working for me that well. So I'm like, especially since I'm not putting all my body weight on it. When I use a foam roller, it's like all your body weight's on it. Then it's like, okay, now we can really get in here. You know, now I'm starting to feel those knots, you know?
Haywood Wong, empty your mind with the vibe rolled through you. Doctor Strange status. I love it.
Yeah. Is that what Doctor Strange? Wait, which Doctor Strange are we talking about? Marvel Doctor Strange or Dr. Hugo Strange?
We're talking to MCU. No.
Okay, Marvel. Okay, cool.
I'm just saying the whole ancient one, or the Tilda Swinton version of the ancient one, being like empty your mind. Kind of
Yes. Yeah. I was like, wait a second. I don't remember Hugo Strange saying that.
No,
to Bruce Wayne.
To be fair, he had a lot of Batman references early in Witcher Park.
Yes, exactly.
So you had mentioned earlier before the pandemic, before the shutdown, you were heading on the road. Where do you plan to go now that everything's opening up? "Quote unquote," crossing fingers.
I definitely would love to perform. Well, I don't know if I would love to perform in Florida. I'm not too sure. I would definitely love to go to Boston. Love to check out that town for sure. I've always wanted to see the New York scene. A lot of people keep talking about it, like, yeah, you can go to like 3 mics in one night, just in walking distance stuff. Definitely want to check out. There. Love to go to San Diego again. I always love performing in San Diego. Northern Cali, San Fran, love to check that out as well. Colorado Springs was fun when I was there. I performed at Looney's in Colorado Springs. I definitely want to go back there as well, because jogging there as well with the high altitude, does wonders for your stamina. What else?
He says
it does.
It does wonder. That sounds painful.
Oh, it's great because you're such a high. Because it was like when I was training in Thailand. And it's already Chiang Mai is very high altitude, and Saturdays we would go up to this mountain called Doi Sutep, and it was like maybe 14-15 kilometers up, and you're just running like these winding roads up the mountain. Your legs are like noodles, but it's like you're really feeling it work your stamina a lot. But anyway,
You're
went off the
oversold.
rails.
You oversold Thailand. I was like, I should go to Thailand. No, I ain't going no more. Nope. My noodle legs, I'm good, player.
Oh, it was grand. Like it blew up my calves, dude. I was like looking at my calves. I was like, wow, that's awesome. You know,
come to Thailand and lose the ability to walk. Okay, I'm gonna stay right here. My phone.
Right.
I'm good.
Exactly.
But
I'm going to be performing in Greensboro, North Carolina in September for the North Carolina Comedy Festival. So that's going to be awesome. You know, check out that scene. Yeah, first time in North Carolina. Yeah, a lot of places. I would love to check out Atlanta. I was born in Atlanta, and I don't remember anything about it at all. Yeah, I moved up to Toronto when I was like 4 or 5 after my parents split. Yeah. So yeah,
Toronto, cool town.
It's okay.
I mean, damn, I'm here to agree with me. I'm just,
you know, it's just like I'm over it. I'm over Toronto. The city is fantastic. It's the people I can't stand.
What part of town you're from, by the way? I'm just curious.
What part of Toronto?
Yeah.
Usually I lived in mainly like the Bloor West area.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I used to go there for conferences, and I used to drive around and be like, where's this thing or whatever. But
yeah.
I thought it was cool. When I performed in Toronto, I was like, I made it. I'm international. I was so hyped, and it was like a small wall, you know.
I mean, it does have its cool areas. I mean, I do like I've always loved hanging around downtown area, like the downtown area stuff. That was always my stomping ground. To like, I would, especially during the summer times, I would just walk. I would walk, you know, like just go down. Just, you know, my mom was working downtown as an esthetician, so I'd go down there, visit her, you know, go to lunch with her or something, whatever, and then, you know, we'd walk back home. Right? We would literally like walk from downtown Eaton Center, and then walk all the way to back home in Bloor West Village. And it was a fun walk. We're walking through the annex, walking through all that stuff. It was, you know, it was nice. Yeah. But then, you know, I started getting more aware, especially when I'm walking alone and stuff. I'm like, holy shit, these people suck. Jesus. You know, I'm sorry, but I find a lot of them, you know, to be very pretentious, very antisocial, very angry. Like my friends and I, we would always call Toronto Screwface Central, right? Because like people would just walk around having beef with each other for no reason.
That seems oddly not Canadian to me. Why
exactly,
are you so mad?
Right? It's like because you hear, every time I hear people, when people find out I'm Canadian, they're like, "Oh, Canadians are so nice." I'm like, really?
Well, to be fair, if it's not true, I would still keep it with a lie. I'm like, we're terrible. You know?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm blowing this shit up completely. I'm peeling the paint for all these assholes. I'm stripping that paint away, guys. Damn it. You're gonna find out what's under this wallpaper.
Give a shout out to Big Buddy Manny, David Manny. He asked, "Atlanta is too hot. Too hot. That's all you need to know." And he's right. It's a swamp, bro. It's sticky.
So it's humid hot.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst kind of hot, bro.
Because I like heat. I love the hot weather, man. I love it
here. It's dope. I love it here.
Hell yeah, you know, because it's especially. But I only love it when it's like a dry heat. That I can handle, right? That I'm fine with. Like Thailand was a dry heat as well, and that it got hella hot in the dry season. Woo, watch out! But I loved it. Right, shorts and tank top and stuff. It's more motivating for me to like go out and do stuff. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. You know, I hate the cold. I mean, I don't mind it if I'm snowboarding, but other than that, I'm like, nope.
You snowboard too? Damn it, JP Brown. What you do?
I just like having fun, man.
Is that before or after noodle legs? What do you do with your life?
I just, you know what it is? I just love, like I said, I love physical activities and stuff. I've always been involved in them, you know, and they make me feel great, man. You know, I honestly dread, you know, the day. I hope it doesn't come, but I dread reaching a point in my life where I'm not able to physically do the things I can do now. You know what I mean? That was a huge thing. Especially my mom always said, like, if I ever get to a point in my life where I have to, you know, I need other people to get around and do like the most basic motor skills. If I ever become like, you know, she would call it an invalid. She always said, like, if I ever get to that point, just take me out to the ocean and let me walk out.
Hold on. Not the point of your story, but is your mom British or West Indian?
My mom was she was from St. Kitts. from the Caribbean.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
It has to be. Only Caribbean women say invalid. That's why I was like, wait.
yeah,
is your mom
exactly. Yeah, my mom did all her schooling, all her nursing and stuff in England. Yeah,
Yeah, my mom the same way. So she's from BIM, but she did her
yes,
training midwifery in Scotland.
yes.
And invalid is very specific.
Invalid, squalor. I'm like,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. Go be a so also too because up the eastern seaport, so like Boston, New York, Miami, Toronto, all West Indian folks just hanging out there because
Yes.
sidebar, that's when Pan Am bought all the transatlantic routes. So all the Caribbean like neighborhoods are all up that chain. So that's
yes,
awesome.
I always loved the way that my mom could switch accents and dialogue like seamlessly. She'd be just sitting at home in the living room, just why I tell you, just watching football. Why I tell you, catch the damn ball. What the ass wrong with you? You're stupid or what? You can't catch the kiss me ass ball. Bring. Hello. You know,
I'm telling you
right now. I mean, leave a message. You know,
that British comedy flow.
I'm telling you, man.
Respect, man. Oh, that takes me back.
All right.
Have you visited St. Kitts?
You know what? My mom and my family, they would always tell me that they took me a long time ago. I don't remember. I really don't. I haven't been back there since. I've been to St. Lucia. It wasn't for the greatest circumstances, but I've definitely visited St. Lucia. But I have not been to St. Kitts. So, yeah.
So if your mom is from St. Kitts, and I have a very similar situation. So when I was a teenager, I had a falling out with my extended family. So I didn't go back to the island in like 18 years. Right. And when I went back, bro, it's almost like a Black Panther moment. Like you feel the skin change. Like you feel like you're like, oh, like beside it. And it's like you're just being recharged, bro. So I mean, the time you get to go as an adult, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm from here. Like it's crazy.
Yes, exactly. That's how I felt when I was in St. Lucia. I was just walking and stuff and just like, oh wow, okay. Suddenly everything feels interesting. You know,
like recharging. So before we get out of here, though, I was talking about your gaming career because I've been dabbling in gaming with the pandemic as well. I was on your stream, JB Brown 365, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Playing all the games, Red Dead Pro. How's that like? What games you play now? Talk to me.
Oh shoot, I play a lot of games that are not Fortnite. I play what do I play? I'm not saying like fuck Fortnite or whatever. Like I'm not gonna flip the table and leave, but I just find it way too monotonous. You know, it's great if you're squatting up with some, your friends and stuff and you go in, that's great. But after a while, it's just like, okay, this is just one note now. It's just the same thing all the time. Like shoot people and build, I need more. I need like storylines and side quests and cutscenes and just, I need more of that. So, I play like a lot of open world games. I play games like a huge range of those as well. I play like Red Dead Redemption 2, Uncharted 1 through 3, Resident Evil 2, 3, and 5, Dying Light, Mortal Kombat XL, Spider-Man, Batman Arkham series, God of War was my all-time favorite game.
Okay.
Horizon Zero Dawn, which is I can't stop telling people how beautiful this game is. Everything, the storyline, the side missions, visually, it's just phenomenal to look at. It's just such a beautiful game to look at. What else? The Last of Us 1 and 2, which was such a heavy story. Like I cried at the end of Last of Us 2. It was just such a hard-hitting story, and it had like a lot of life lessons about like love and loss and death and grief and trauma and regret and revenge and acceptance and forgiveness and moving. It was a really heavy story. Days Gone, GTA 5, of course. Like I said, a lot. Far Cry 5, Ghost of Tsushima, a lot of games, like I said, that are not Fortnite. That's it.
Shade. So I guess what PS5 you just
PS4 I have right now. I'm gonna wait to get the PS5, especially since all those like price gougers are on it. Those those scalpers and shit are all they literally have like these automatic bots that as soon as a PS5 gets back in stock in whether it's Best Buy or GameStop or what have you, these bots automatically just buy the shit out of these out of the consoles, and then they mark them up. They price gouge them on eBay and Amazon and all these other sites.
Yeah.
I'm like, you motherfuckers, I'm not paying $1,000 or $2,000 for a PS5. Fuck y'all.
Do you think
Honestly.
the bots have a choice though? Like, you think a bot really wants to be a Jordan bot, but gets to be a PS5 bot instead, and just gets angrily and buys it that way?
I think the bots just the bots obviously are controlled by these people. So it's like, I don't think the bots just like, we shouldn't be doing this.
That's what I'm saying.
Polite,
The bot's got morals. Jack
bots
Barber says.
bot's gonna bot.
Yeah, Red Dead was great. Far Cry 5. I haven't played Far Cry before.
Far Cry 5 was actually the very first Far Cry game I have ever played, because I always heard about it, but I always kind of slept on it. And so former roommate had Far Cry 5, and I was like, okay, this looks interesting. And then finally I saw it on sale. I think it was like maybe $20-$30 or something like that. I was like, hell yeah, I'll get it. And then I started to play, and I'm like, oh wow, this is a pretty dope game. It's a really huge open world. The storyline's fantastic. I'm like, I dig this. I'm a side quest fiend. I always love doing as many side quests as I can to build up my character's level, and then I just go into the next stages like a boss. And just
I don't have the page. The last game I 100% was like 15 years ago. It was Bully.
I'm always like, I gotta complete everything.
That's crazy. JB Brown, before we get out of here, man, you down to play a game with me, baby?
Yeah, sure, absolutely, man.
All right, man. This one here is a new one. It's called Explain Yourself. I'm going to ask you some statements I researched while stalking you for the show. I want you to know, just give me some more, bit of a little background. It's harmless. It's not that bad.
Okay, cool.
Right. So, number one, on your Instagram, you said, quote, "Fart jokes will always be funny. Don't debate me." Explain yourself.
They'll always have a place. They will always have a place in my hearts and the hearts of many of others who were raised right. We like, if it's done great. I mean, sometimes the sound, just the sounds of them, like some of the craziest sounds you'll hear, and just like it's too ridiculous. I'm thinking of some of them right now, and sometimes some of the faces that are made with them, and it's just I can't help but giggle. I can't help but giggle my ass off when I hear one or whatever, especially in a yoga. When I'm in a yoga class, and I hear somebody accidentally fart during the downward dog pose, and I'm sitting there kind of quietly giggling to myself, and then I accidentally fart, and then I'm like, stupid karma, and I'm like,
that is literally the reason why I don't take a group yoga class. It's you.
Sometimes it'll happen.
No, that's why. That is why. Yeah, just
farting through your Lululemons. It's just, it's not.
I'm here for a Lululemon. I in that studio.
And just like also hearing, I remember one time my former roommate started farting and stuff, and he was like giggling about it and laughing about it, like, hey, look at this. And then he did it again, and I was like, haha, that sounded wet. Sounds like you need to go visit the bathroom.
Wow. We're comedians, y'all.
They're timeless. Fart jokes are timeless.
You're right, because they're usually on Nickelodeon. Question 2. You also said on Instagram, Wet Throw Wednesdays is going to be a thing. Will it be? Explain yourself.
I will make it a thing. Wet Throw Wednesdays will be a thing. I will see to it. For all my mixed black men out there, my mixed black men and women, all y'all who have mixed hair like I do, who don't have tight ass curls that sit perfectly, even if you punch it. My hair gets blown everywhere. That's why I'm wearing a hat right now. I'm not liking the way it's not. You know what? You guys are gonna make me do this.
An embarrassment of riches, I say.
It's it's very right. It's not that. It's not that. It's very Jew-fro-ish. You know what I mean? So
I wouldn't know.
It's very loose curls and stuff. And so in the shower, it's basically as soon as I come out of the shower, it's like all over the place, like down. I'm like, I'm making this a thing now, especially when at one point when I come out and it's like completely flattened on top, washed right down, and then just kind of like curls in the sides and back. So it looks like I made it, I made that reference. So it looks like Lisa Simpson in that episode when she had all that chewing gum in her hair. And it's like, she was like, you got to put this in it to get it out. And it's like, now you got to put this. And they put all the shit in her hair. And she was just, yeah.
Brian,
It's going to be a thing. And I'm going to make sure I'm going to try to, no, I can't tag every single mixed black person out there, but I'm going to make it a hashtag Wet Fro Wednesdays. It's going to happen, y'all. If you have a fro like mine with loose curls and you have that sort of situation when you're coming out of the shower, you better hashtag it. I want to see it.
The last time I had a fro, George W. Bush was in office, so I can't even help you with that. Damn it. What's been the shadiest way you've made money during the pandemic? Explain yourself.
Ooh, the shadiest way I don't think I've ever made money. Money in a shady way. Yeah, I don't think I ever really have. Yeah, no, I've always kept it honorable, even when I'm selling things on like eBay or whatever like that. I'm like, no, I must keep this honorable. And, I don't, have I had one shit? I don't know, working for Uber Eats. I don't, that's literally, I'm like, oh, I feel terrible. Like, no, even when I start, I'm like, oh, this is easy. Pick up the food, drop it off. What? Okay. Yeah. It's fine. It's a side hustle to a side hustle. I don't care. I've never had any real shady ways of making money.
I would say that during the pandemic, it was
not even during the pandemic. No,
I was paid shadily. Like I was DJing a wedding, and this dude looked like Fat Tony from The Simpsons. And he was like, "Hey man, can you do me a favor? Can you play some Beatles?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Because it's a wedding, so you're not like, "No, I have a process." You're like, whatever, right. you play Beatles. And the guy walked up to me and goes, "Good job." And he took a $10 bill and slid it into my breast pocket. I was like, "Drug deal, bro?" And it's $10. That wasn't even 100. All right, so
that's classic. And he comes back later on with a 20. He's like, "Call me later."
All right. I have to go now, wedding.
Drinks on me.
And lastly, on Instagram, you copped yourself a pair of Jordan 3s for your birth months. You celebrate birth months? Explain yourself.
I truly believe that birthdays are way too short. Way too short. And everybody puts so much effort into planning it. I mean, they can be awesome if it's planned right and stuff. But then there's so much stuff to do. It's like, why not, instead of celebrating the birthday, celebrate the birth month? It's especially because my birthday's in August, so it's like summer, baby. Yo, with all this stuff to do, take the month and do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Like one birth month, I went to the shooting range. I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain. I went skydiving. I did so much stuff. I went to 82 LA. There's so much stuff to do. I went to a Griselda concert. Fucking right.
All right, there has to be some kind of limit. You can't be like, it's my birth month. Why not a birth season? Why not a birth year?
The limit is whatever you set it to. My limit is the end of the month. That's it. Yep. Actually, August 3rd till September 3rd. No, I'll keep it at the month. I'll be nice this time.
Well, what sign is that? What comes after Leo?
I believe I want to say Virgo is after Leo.
Okay, but you're straight up Leo then.
Yeah, I'm straight up Leo. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, again, it's weird with horoscopes because I'm a Cancer, so I can't be like, it's Cancer season. Wow.
Right. So I'm very skeptical when it comes to horoscopes. Especially when it comes to like compatibility and so on and so forth. Yeah, and especially because I remember there was an experiment. I believe I want to say it was who did the experiment. It was a really well-known skeptic. I want to say it was Daniel Dennett. Was it Daniel Dennett? I can't remember. No, James Randi. He did an experiment where he basically, and it was a very, very small easily, like super easy experiment. Just nothing too intricate, but he got all like just a bunch of newspapers, same day, same month, same year stuff, all that's, from different newspapers of that city, right? Went to the horoscope page, completely different on that day for all of them. Completely different thing. And then some horoscopes will say, oh, you're only compatible with this sign, or you're only compatible with that sign, and it just completely contradict each other, right? And then you got to think to yourself, okay, well, what about the Chinese zodiac? Wait, what about the Native Americans, the Native Indian zodiac? What about them? They have a zodiac as well. So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah, it's a Hogwarts house, really. But that does it for us. We're actually out of time there. But JP Brown, if someone that follow you online, social media, learn more about you, book you for a show, do all that cool stuff, how to go about doing that?
Yeah, just look me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at JAYPBrown365. Go to my website, jaypbrown.com. You'll find all my stand-up comedy stuff there, when and where I'll be performing. You'll see my podcast appearances, articles, whatever you want to find. Find me on Twitch as well, JAYPBrown365. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah, you'll find me there.
Got to check out that Ain't That a Glitch series on YouTube as well. But that does it for me. I'll be back here in 2 weeks. I'll be Labor Day. Is that Labor Day? Dang.
Oh, yeah, it is. Crazy. Holy shite.
Woo, we can hear that.
Nice.
Oh, shite. All right, I'm out of here, man. After all this close. Peace out.
See y'all.